My first experience with Coral Gables was with my father, was a practicing attorney. So when he came from Cuba, when he was in high school, he was always enamored with the city. But I remember some days, maybe, school wasn't in session, but my father was working, my mom was working, so they were in the office, they'd take me to the office. And they'd let me walk around the neighborhood, and I'd just explore different neighborhoods in the Gables. North Gables, probably my favorite area of the Gables. Everyone knows each other, a lot of young families, a lot of people walking their dogs. I mean, there's something about that I feel like you don't see in many places in South Florida nowadays. I think it's objectively clear Coral Gables is the best community in Florida, maybe the country, to raise kids. I ran 2 terms. I was successful. I ran, and probably one of my best accomplishments was being involved in the streetscape renovation for Miracle Mile. That was a great project for the city. It was a lot of fun being involved in that. But the most important aspect in Coral Gables, being an elected official, is being able to help your neighbors. When I ran for office, I was 28 years old at the time. I was by far the youngest candidate, and we ran polls that had a less than 1% name recognition. No one knew who I was, and no one was gonna vote for me. So I knocked on 9,348 doors. I will never forget that number. There was a resident in North Gables, she was in her mid-70s, and she had a daughter in her early 40s who was mentally handicapped. And the biggest issue for her was taking out her daughter every day into Country Club Prado Park. I believe it was called Gordon Park. And we had changed some of the sidewalks there within the park to be pebbles, loose pebbles. And she can no longer push her wheelchair in that park. Every house on that block, they're like, we love the city, it's great. There's only one thing we care about, is making sure that family can push their wheelchair in the park. The entire neighborhood. And when I get elected, we were able to make those changes, and she thanked me, and that community thanked me, and the city as well. I'm so thankful to have run at a young age and had the time to commit to the city, and for Coral Gables to have chosen me to be a public servant here. It's been a tremendous experience, and I really enjoyed my time in the city of Coral Gables.